A 40-degree afternoon in the city of Southfield. Welcome inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse for our second of this doubleheader here on LTSN. The 5 and 6 Blue Devils welcome in the 7 and 4 16th ranked Indiana Tech Warriors. I'm Jason Ross Jr. here with you for our second of two LTSN basketball broadcasts on this Saturday to open up the Christmas season. December 1st is here. The big matchups are here. The WAC season is officially rolling. And your starting five for the Blue Devils tonight. If they lose the jump, it'll be Ty Searles, Carter France, Dalen Blakely, Jalen Bethel, Alec Ivanovic. And on the Indiana Tech side, Max Huber, Joel Winkowski, Dylan Fair, Logan Primerano, and Darren Groves. Indiana Tech coming off a tight 3-point, 79-76 win over Lourdes. It was hard fought. It was a shootout. I guess in the game of basketball, both teams were shooting sky-high field goal percentages. This Indiana Tech team can really score. They can really move the ball crisply when they want to. On the other side, a Blue Devil team that has lost 2 in a row. They're trying to find that resiliency that has been a part of this young squad so far. Now in WAC play, can they bounce back under head coach Josh Pickens? 2-game losing streak matches the longest of the season. Ivanovic in the lineup. He's had ankle problems this year. Carter France has been an excellent addition to this Blue Devil team as a freshman, off the mark there on his first shot attempt of the afternoon. Here's Fair. 3 comes up short. And back comes the transfer from California, Dalen Blakely. Very mature approach to the game, steady performances. Here's Ty Searles knocking down the 3. A guy with 5 20-point games already this season. You can see the intensity in the early goings. A lot of clapping, a lot of chirping, a lot of talking. This could be a good one. Indiana Tech then goes down low to Huber. 6'6" junior from Hillard, Ohio. And we're 3-2 in the early goings. Blakely running the point guard duties. Carter France and Searles obviously also excellent ball handlers. We'll get into Jalen Bethel throughout the night as he gets it back here. Talk about excellent additions to this Blue Devil team. You talk about much needed additions to this Blue Devil team. With 6 on the shot clock, LTU having trouble with it. Searles will have to take this by himself. No, he'll kick to Ivanovic. Now Ivanovic rains a 3 down. A broken play that ends up in a triple from the sharpshooter Alec Ivanovic. Fun beginning to this one. 6-2 start for LTU. Nice crowd in here and here inside of the Riddler. Indiana Tech tries to answer back. Rebound goes pinballing around into the hands of Joel Winkowski. He couldn't finish. Here comes Searles galloping into the forecourt. Stop and pop 3. Off the mark, looking to stay hot. And then he fouls Darren Groves the other way. Darren Groves in his second season in that Indiana Tech uniform was named WAC newcomer of the year last season. Was named WAC player of the week 3 times. Had an incredible first year in that Warrior uniform as a junior, as the 3 is around and out from Dylan Fair, 6'1" senior from Franklin, Indiana. Here's Searles again setting the offense. He has fully accepted that role of vocal leader. He's been quite the player this year as France turning. There's a nice touch on that jump shot. Sure we'll see it throughout the night. 0 for 2 to this point. Meanwhile, Indiana Tech pushing the pace. They can do that. They can really move the ball around. That's a really nice post battle to watch all night long. That time using his body well was Bethel going up against Darren Groves. We'll watch that one all night long. That'll be a fun duel. Searles, another 3 attempt, and he hits it again. Searles had 34 against Kalamazoo College over the Thanksgiving break. LTU off to a 9-2 start in the home gym. 16:39 to go in the first half. Ty Searles leading the way early with 6. We'll be right back here on LTSN. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on your home for LTU athletics. Welcome back to LTSN, a 9-2 start for the Blue Devils. They're coming off back-to-back 20-point losses, but they have come out looking like a different team today. Head coach Josh Pickens loves the resiliency of this young group. Says the up and downs are something you expect with a young team. He really liked the resiliency versus Kalamazoo College, liked what the seniors did at the end. In the early goings, it's been the senior Ty Searles as Indiana Tech does knock down that three out of the timeout. Nice ATO there, and it's 9-5. Bethel trying to set up down low, but Blakely takes the three and hits the three. Blue Devils are off to a 4 of 7 start. All 4 field goals have been threes. They are gunning away from downtown in the early goings. That time, Logan Primerano. Primerano tied for the team lead with about 15 points per game. Look for him today. Here's Searles leading the Blue Devils in scoring with 21.5 per game. He'll set it up with 10 on the shot clock. He's feeling it early. Off the mark there. Here's Dylan Fair to Primerano. Now Groves. Huber. This game is in rhythm early goings. Carter France pulls down the board. A nice crisp snap pass to Searles to set things up. He'll get directions from his head coach Josh Pickens as Devontae Miles is about to check into the game on the next stoppage of play. So will Edmonds Earl Jr. for Indiana Tech. Bethel continues to battle away with Groves. Those two are about the same size down there. Bethel at 6'7", Groves at about 6'8", both from Ohio. Now Bethel goes down, grabbing the knee. It's been physical in the paint. Foul was called on Huber. This is not a sight that you want to see if you're a Blue Devil fan, obviously. Looks like Bethel is grabbing his ankle now. Getting looked at by the trainer. Meanwhile, we'll take a quick breather during this injury timeout. Welcome back to LTSN. So Bethel limps off the court. Didn't head out, but at the end of the bench, getting looked at by the trainers, kind of looking down. It appears to be his right ankle. A 12-8 Blue Devil lead. They got off to a 9-2 start. We've had a fun beginning to this one. Cumberland in the ball game now. Here's the freshman, one of 8 active freshmen on the roster. 11 total. Cumberland gliding to the rim, missed the bunny. Blue Devils have to get back on defense. Bethel now up on that Blue Devil bench, kind of walking it off a bit, getting a drink of water. Meanwhile, Groves against the smaller Miles. Miles still excellent in the paint, both offensively and defensively, so he'll take that defensive matchup for now. Meanwhile, working hard in the paint. Down on the boards was Joel Winkowski. I mentioned earlier that Logan Primerano is tied for the team lead in points. He's tied with Winkowski. They both average about 15 points per game. Joel Winkowski is this super efficient player who shoots 62% from the field. That's the team lead. Shoots 42% from deep, 84% at the free throw line where he's about to head to. 6.3 boards per game, and he's working there, the transfer from the University of Maryland, Baltimore, at the line for one more with his team down 2. He makes it 1. This Blue Devil team has been in some hard-fought games this year. Similar story through the first 7 minutes or so of this one. Miles drives to the cup, off the mark. Now back come the Warriors. They'll slow it down in the ball game now. Darnay Harrison. Long three-point attempt, high off the iron. Miles pulls it down. Excellent rebound and guard. Kind of a guard forward from Orlando. English comm major. Love talking to Devontae. Excellent guy. Done an excellent job on the court this year, playing a new role in this revamped team. He gets the feed here from Ivanovic. Posting up. ISO in the block. He has such nifty footwork. Gets fouled. Right on cue, the brilliant Devontae Miles. Such a cerebral player. That footwork he's worked on his entire career. He'll go to the line for a couple of free throws. Miles off on the first free throw. He's at 69% from the year on the line. A sight that will delight LTU fans as Bethel checks back in. Board pulled down here. And now in the game for Indiana Tech, pushing up the court, Courtney McKinney, freshman 6-footer. Here he is again. Looks in the paint, then decides to drive. The quickness is apparent. Long three attempt that time from Winkowski. No, Bethel goes down to the floor again. This time has a smoother route to get back up. Groves, big body, he can drive as well. Kicks it out this time for Hairston, who hits the triple. And Indiana Tech has their first lead of the night. This is a group that started 1-4 on the season, did not have the non-conference season that they envisioned, but a big win prior to the start of conference play. And that really sparked what is now a 4-0 record in conference play. Indiana Tech, one of two teams at 4-0 in the WAC right now. Atop the conference is number 9 Cornerstone at 9-3 overall. Blue Devils obviously suffered their worst defeat of the season at Cornerstone last time out. Looking to bounce back from that. Coach Pickens felt that, he said that there's certain things that you have to do against top-ranked teams in order to compete, and that's defend and rebound at a high level, be disciplined, be resilient, and he felt that they took a step back in that area against Cornerstone. But they've come out looking like a team that has been ready to go out of practice so far. 14-14 ball game right now. Started 9-2. Cumberland might have traveled there. Fallen back, and he did. Cumberland with 2 points in the early goings. McKinney, he'll bounce to Groves, cross-court swing. This is the ball movement I talked about earlier. They love to move it around. It can be pretty at times. What a bounce pass, what a cut, but the block at the rim by the Linky Cumberland, and back comes Miles. Stop and start, into the paint, went down hard. Back to the free throw line for the second time now, Devontae Miles, the Orlando, Florida native. New role, but same dangerous player. Seven and a half rebounds per game for Miles. It's tied for the team lead. Kind of accentuates his versatility, that stat does. Now here come the Warriors again, with the Blue Devils up 2. Midway through the first half. Long rebound favors Indiana Tech. Blue Devils will simply have to get back on defense here. One of those things that's tough to deal with, but regrouping, get the mindset back defensively now. Hairston. The drive, the dish, the hook, off the mark. That time from the 6'9" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Lucas Learman. Good vision at 6'9", decided to stay home and to play his college basketball. Bethel up and under, off the mark. 3-on-3 the other way. Fair noticed it, pulled back. Hairston, 6'9". It's Learman using that height, but ultimately to no avail that time. The matchups down low are super interesting in this game. You got Bethel going up against Learman, Bethel going up against Groves. Fun stuff. 16-4 is the first half score midway through the first half in favor of the Blue Devils right now. Looks like we're in for a good one here on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN. 16-14, the first half lead in favor of the Blue Devils. They'll inbound here out of the timeout. Ivanovic over to Searles, bounces Bethel, his hook, nice touch, got it to drop. Jalen Bethel, 6'7" freshman from Columbus. He's already been a step above what LTU really has ever had in the modern era at that power forward position. Only a freshman, a player that could continue to develop. You see him barking out the orders here defensively. So mature. Now here's Hairston. Shovels this time for Primerano. Primerano, pump, goes up. Couldn't hit it. Searles fends off Primerano. 18-14 Blue Devil lead. Miles likes it, had space, couldn't quite get the roll. And we get an over the back foul that Searles is able to draw. Nice job to get in there and box out from Ty Searles. Searles lost it. Out there with Bethel, Miles, Ivanovic, and Blakely. Back comes Fair. He's out there with Huber and Winkowski. Groves back on the floor. They almost gave it away. Huber's in and out dribble. Snaked into traffic. Groves thought about it. Bethel stood his ground. Fair in the corner with 8 to shoot. Fair in the paint with 6 to shoot. Lost it. Searles corrals it. And the Blue Devil bench is up and clapping. This game has a fun life to it, a fun energy to it. Searles had it stripped away. Back-to-back turnovers. Can the Warriors convert this time? They're down 4. Primerano, no hesitation, knocks it down. He's a fun shooter to watch, the senior from Peru, Indiana. 15.4 points per game. His third school in 3 years. Journey began at UMass Lowell, then Goshen last season. Now he's landed at Indiana Tech, where he's been a key component in the starting lineup. Such a rhythmic game in the early goings. We get another break here on another timeout called. 18-17 the score now. 7:56 to go in the first half. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on your home for LTU Athletics. Welcome back to LTSN. Blue Devils out of the timeout in a bit of a scoring drought. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. 2 minutes and about 5 seconds. 18-17. The Blue Devil lead with 7:50 to go in the first half. Huber. Winkowski. Searles staring into his eyes. He'll go cross court here for Primorano, who will slow it down and set up the offense. Primorano hit that three a few moments ago. This time he goes into the paint and finishes in the paint. That'll be a tough guard all afternoon. Blue Devils down one now. Who can answer back? Searles driving, creating space and finishing. Put his head down with intent and gave the Blue Devils the lead back. Fair stops free throw line. Groves, mid-range. Bethel didn't respect the jumper now. He'll let him get it into the paint, and it's Groves able to finish. Searles the other way. Barking out the orders. Mentioned his taking of that vocal leadership role. Josh Pickens says it starts with Searles' leadership. He knows when to settle us down, when to pick us up. Finds Blakely there, and the Blue Devils have the lead back. 5th three-pointer of the game in this first half for the Blue Devils. Really shooting the ball well. In these big games, that three-pointer can be such a momentum boost. Blue Devils have lost 2 in a row. Indiana Tech is 4-0 in the conference. LTU got off to their first ever 2-0 start in WAC play this season. Played in a tournament over Thanksgiving break that gave them a bit of a break from WAC play. Went 1-1 in that tournament against Kalamazoo College and Cincinnati Christian. Back-to-back 20-point-plus losses, though, for LTU now, though. And in the early goings, it looks like they put those losses in the rearview mirror. 5:58 to go, first quarter. First half, rather. Sorry about that. Just finished up calling a women's game. Our woman went down to Indiana Tech earlier today. You can catch the woman in action again on Wednesday when Michigan Dearborn comes to town. The men will obviously also play Michigan Dearborn. That'll be approximately 7:30, 8 p.m. start. Meanwhile, shot clock running down in this Blue Devil possession. They got rather sporadic, so still a tie game. Left corner three. Fair off the mark. Fair 0 for 4 now. 0 for 2 from deep. Blue Devils got off to a 9-2 start in this one. Searles, nice pass. Bethel was blocked from behind. Here come the Warriors. Primorano looks, then slows. It'll go around the perimeter. Here's Fair. Hop step, Primorano. Travel called. He's going to say that he was pushed, but this will go in favor of LTU. Here's Bethel. Ty Searles talked about Jalen in practice the other day, saying that, he loves to work on his game, his post moves, post defense. Another guy they feel is really growing every day. Cumberland, another one of those freshmen. Fading, firing, comes up short. Still a tie ball game, under 5 to go first half. Alec Ivanovic had a couple of games where he suffered some scary ankle problems, but he's toughed it out, stayed in that lineup, and he's knocked down a 3 in this one. When his shot is going, that's a part of when this offense can really glow. That pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with LTU. Devontae Miles comes back in. Bethel gets another breather. Miles, we saw his footwork in the post earlier. So nifty. He gets it back here, but he has limited time. 6. He hits anyway. Devontae Miles off the bench now with 4 points. Suro's leading the way for LTU with 8. Joel Winkowski averaging 15 a game. Over to Primerano. He's also averaging 15 a game. They go back and forth. That duo. They get to the cup, and Cumberland is called for the foul. Mentioned Winkowski's efficiency. He's shooting 84% from the free throw line. First team all WAC a season ago. Also first team all defense a season ago. Just gets it done out there. A senior, a leader from Lake George, New York. Carter France checks back in here. 3:27 to go first half. 25-25. What a game so far. Glad to have you here on LTSN, wherever you may be tuning in. I'm Jason Ross Jr., your play-by-play broadcaster tonight. Ivanovic. That shot sails long. Producer Ali Hadi behind the screens. Janiskowski running the camera. They go down low here. Groves got it. 27-25. A nice crowd for some afternoon basketball to open up December. About a 2.5-hour drive for the Warriors up to Southfield. Rainy, somewhat atypical warm day for December. A little over 40 degrees. Not comfortable, but we're comfortable in here. Carter France. He's comfortable with that shot. What a play from Carter France. Love watching this kid, the freshman from Dansville, Michigan. Knocks it down. He's a big playmaker, and he hit another one there. Steve Nash-esque type plays as Indiana Tech answers back. This is fun in the first half, man. I'll tell you, 29-28 now. 2:08 to play in the first half. France staring down his opponent. No call over for Ivanovic. 8 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Cumberland, Miles, 5 to shoot. Blocked, 3 to shoot. Loose ball. They have to hoist it up. Cumberland got it off in time, but short. Searles to come in here for Carter France. Indiana Tech comes back the other way, having hit 6 of their last 8 field goal attempts. 1:40 to go, first half. Groves, they've had him quiet over the past few minutes. Bethel has done well with his body defensively. Miles comes over to double. That'll leave Fair open, though, from deep. He knocked it down. 32-28. Blakely. Miles. Indiana Tech bench clapping, providing the noise. 6 to shoot, 5 to shoot. They'll call it an offensive foul. I think the Blue Devils might have actually been thrown off, perhaps, possibly by the Indiana Tech crowd. It looks like they tried to kind of expedite the process maybe a bit sooner than they needed to. Got off a good shot, but a charge called. 32-28. Under a minute to play in the first half. Kind of feels like the Blue Devils need a big stop here. Both teams shooting the ball well. Fair's 3 attempt long that time. Searles can secure with a chance at a 2-for-1. Miles puts it on the deck, ran into the big body. 15-second difference between shot and game. There's 9 on the shot clock. There's 22 seconds remaining in the first half. Searles has to force one up off the iron. Difficult shot. And the final clock of the first half will go to the Warriors. What can they do with it? Ball in the hands of one of their leading scorers. Primerano, watched by Blakely. Primerano, corner, Fair. He knocked it down as the time expired. 35-28 after the first half. Indiana Tech goes on a run, and they're up 7. It was an 8-0 run to wrap up the first half. Blue Devils went on a scoring drought of about 2 minutes. That'll do it for first half here on LTSN. We'll see you back here for the second. Welcome back to LTSN, second half of action in our doubleheader here from the Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Men's team going up against Indiana Tech this afternoon. The undefeated Warriors, they went on a 7-0 run to wrap up that first half. Blue Devils didn't score over the final 2.5 minutes. Head coach Josh Pickens wasn't happy with how that ended defensively. A couple of open threes from Dylan Fair. All of a sudden it's a 7-point game. Blue Devils have come back from deficits all season long. Here's Carter France. Hit a spectacular three in the first half. Finds Blakely, the California transfer. Finds France. The three is high off the iron, snared down by the big man Darren Groves. Vacuum is in the board at 6'8". Groves' is sixth rebound of the afternoon. Meanwhile, diving to the cup was Winkowski, and Groves there to clean it up, and it's a 9-point game. So Indiana Tech has carried over the momentum that they built up at the end of the first half. Their bench continues to make a presence. France, Ivanovic, Blakely with 8 to shoot. Bethel sets a screen, but then cuts back to the bucket. Searles with 2 to shoot. Falling away, a tough shot, and a brilliant defensive possession from the Warriors. Back they come galloping into the paint. Here's Winkowski off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Ivanovic. Here comes Searles galloping the other way. Into the paint. Searles off the mark. And up and down pace in the beginning of the second half. 9-point Warrior lead. They'll slow it down a little bit and get into the offense. Primerano, 15 points per game off the mark there. But Groves, he won the battle on the board against Bethel. That's a matchup to keep an eye on in this second half. On multiple occasions, we've seen Lawrence Tech come back from down double digits on this home floor. They've had some thrillers on this home floor. Primerano, his three off the iron, but another offensive board. Another long one that goes back out to the Warriors. Here's a baseline drive. Up and under, but a travel called. Or will they get a foul before he got under there? Yep. So a timeout called. Blue Devils want to try to settle down before this thing could perhaps slip away. Still just a 9-point game, but an excellent start to the second half for the Warriors. 37-28 the score. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN, your home for Blue Devil athletics. Welcome back to LTSN. 5 on the floor right now for the Blue Devils. Searles, Cumberland, Miles, Blakely, Bethel. On the Indiana Tech side, Edmund, Early, Winkowski, Fair, Primerano, and Groves out on the floor as Fair misses that little hook shot, and Searles can settle things down. Ty got off to a really nice start to the first half. Was confident, no hesitation on that jump shot. We'll see if he can find that groove again. The bounce to Bethel. What a pass. Fouled at the cup, and he'll earn a couple of free throws. Bethel at the free throw line where he's shooting 53% on the season. Knocks down the first. Indiana Tech 4-0 in conference play. Blue Devils have lost back-to-back games by 20 or more points. This has been different, though. They came out with plenty of effort in that first half. Miles, a nice board. averaging about 7 rebounds per game. That's tied for the team lead. Here's Blakely from 3. Short. France couldn't chase it down. Actually a nice kind of defensive play fending off France there from Fair. Nice sequence there for the Blue Devils. Just couldn't quite score though. Still an 8-point game. Joel Winkowski, senior guard from Lake George, New York. He'll find Huber. Miles did well defensively. Looking to post up Groves down low. That's a fun battle between him and Bethel. We get a foul. Will it go against Bethel? Yep. Both teams are really stroking it from deep. They went down low there. Indiana Tech 6 of 18 from downtown. Blue Devils 6 of 13 from downtown. Here's Fair, pumped from deep, stepped back, long 2. What a shot. Fair knocks it down, and it's a 10-point game. Fair kind of got off to a rough start to this one, but he's picked his play up, and all of a sudden he has 8 points. Searles, 2 dribbles into the paint. Got it. Searles with 10 now. Fall away jumper around and out, and the Blue Devils can set it up again. Just the 3rd home game of the season for Lawrence Tech. Great group of guys out there, competitive group. You know that every time they go out there, they're going to leave it all out on the floor. There can be up and downs, as head coach Josh Pickens has mentioned. He expects that with this group, and we've seen that illustrated tonight, especially at the end of the first half when they did have those defensive lapses. That's something you look back on film and you just kind of want to skip over next week in practice, but an 8-point game. Searles fall away. Bethel wins the board battle that time. Goes up. Another nice possession without a bucket. Premirano, the bounce. Groves, was he fouled? Blocking call that time on Miles. Miles is really good at taking charges. He can get in position. They're going to bring in Ivanovic here for Blakely. Premirano watched tightly by Miles. What an effort by Devontae. They tie it up, and this will go in favor of LTU. And Blue Devil basketball after the scrappy play by Devontae Miles, showing his versatility offensively and defensively. They're going to actually reverse the call here. I think the possession arrow was going the wrong way, so this will stick with Indiana Tech. But an excellent play there defensively from Devontae Miles. Fair against France. 17-footer. Long arms of Bethel at 6'7", snared that down. Searles calls for France to get into the motion. France hops in, hops out, turns, fakes, spins. Miles, the bounce, the pump, the up, and he gets it to go. Pretty much been the same rotation throughout this game for the Blue Devils. Head coach Josh Pickens feels that some of his bench isn't quite ready yet for this type of action, but you think when they do get there, they could become a deeper team. Here's Bethel, the big body, the bump, and the finish. 4-point game. Crowd beginning to get into it. Don Riddler Fieldhouse coming to life on a Saturday afternoon. Here's Grove spinning, turning off the mark. Searles will slow it down. Head coach Josh Pickens looking on, barking out the orders. Bench is up. Crowd is up. Off a screen, Ivanovic launches and hits. A 1-point game with 14:10 to play in the second half. Blue Devils were down 8. They're on a 9-0 run. They've hit their last 3 field goals. Indiana Tech, they're 1 of 9 in their last 9 field goal attempts. A scoring drought of almost 3 minutes. Fair couldn't hit, and the Blue Devils have a chance to take the lead. Searles. He'll curl and set it back up. Ty Searles. 21 points per game. 5 20-point games this season. Over 200 points on the year already. Was blocked in the paint that time, lost it. And now Josh Pickens yelling at his team to get back. They do so, but a pirouette and a little scoop there from Huber. Nifty move through traffic. Had to catch it, had to make a move. Didn't have much time to do it, and still got to the line. Max Huber showing why he's a staple in that starting lineup for Indiana Tech. 6'6" junior from Hillard, Ohio, shooting 78% at the free throw line. A couple of substitutions coming in here. Cumberland will make his way in. Blakely comes back in. Three more games left in the year of 2018 after this one. Blue Devils will have WAC foes Concordia and U of M Dearborn coming up. U of M Dearborn will be here on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll have that one here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Women play first at 6. Miles in the lane, got his own board, goes up strong. It was blocked and it'll stay with the Blue Devils. Still 28 seconds left on that shot clock. My apologies. I believe I said in 7 p.m. start for next Wednesday against U of M Dearborn. It'll be an 8 p.m. start right here on LTSN. We'll have the call for you, the video stream. It'll stay archived on YouTube. Look at that pump and step from Ivanovic. Ran down his own board, but couldn't quite get there in time. The woman went down earlier today against Indiana Tech. They'll hope to bounce back against 23rd ranked Michigan Dearborn on Wednesday. Surprising Michigan Dearborn team on the women's side. On the men's side, Michigan Dearborn 1-1 in WAC play so far, just 2-7 overall on the year. So, you know, Lawrence Tech, before this season started, this was a team that the writers picked to finish last in the conference. And on the other side, Indiana Tech was the team that the writers picked to finish first. So if you were to look at this matchup before the season started, it would be David versus Goliath. Right now, it simply looks like a pretty even matchup because of how hard this Blue Devil team is fighting. This one's going to be tipped off of Cumberland and go back the other way. Just a 3-point game. That's not what you would have said probably with 12:26 to play in the second half if someone were to tell you that these teams were playing before the season started. But it's been a good game. It was a super, super fun first half and more of the same in the second. Some of the second unit guys out there right now for Indiana Tech. Darnay Harrison, 5'11", redshirt sophomore from Columbus. Running the point guard duties right now on the Indiana Tech side of things as we get a foul called. Cornerstone at the top of the conference right now at 9-3 on the season, 4-0 in the WAC. Indiana Tech also at 4-0 in the WAC, but they're 7-4 overall. Had a 1-4 start to the season, not what they envisioned, but have really bounced back now. On a 6-game winning streak, these Warriors. Here's Primerano hitting the 3. Back to a 6-point game. As we approach the midway point of the second half. Remember, the Blue Devils let it slip away at the end of the first half. Searles, big shot to answer back. Back and forth we go inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. 44-41 in favor of Indiana Tech for the moment. 11:44 to go. Second half. We'll be back here on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN. 44-41, the Indiana Tech lead here in Southfield on December 1st. 40-degree day outside, comfortable in here. We've seen a bright match unfold before our eyes on this afternoon. Hairston, Groves. Can Cumberland match up down low with Winkowski? They tried to kind of take advantage of the size mismatch there. Cumberland took the foul. 11:28 to go, second half. They get another foul, I think, on Cumberland again. See if the Warriors go there again with that matchup that they seem to be trying to exploit. Cumberland out of the game now after a couple of fouls defensively. At the free throw line will be Groves. Five on the floor right now for LTU. Searles, Miles, France just checked in. The impressive freshman out there with Bethel, Ivanovic. On the floor for the Warriors, you have Early, Winkowski, Hairston, Primerano, and Groves. Both teams with their big lineups out there. In a 3-point game, make it a 4-point game. The two seniors out there for the Blue Devils, Coach Pickens said that we need our seniors to be rock solid. Ty Searles, one of those seniors, he said that the guys have been getting the ball to me in the right spots, setting screens, making the extra passes. He's been feeling good in his spots, and here he is bringing the ball up the floor. Bounces to Bethel. Ivanovic. They had two options on both sides there. Miles is open in the corner. So is Ivanovic. Could have went either way. 5-point game. Hairston thought about it. Then delivered to Early, now to Groves. Bethel staring into his eyes. Now he backs him down, goes cross court. Primerano, he can knock that down and does. Primerano with 14, he averages 15 a game. Plays a lot for this Indiana Tech team. They're back up 8. Blue Devils have already had to come back from down 8 once. They pulled within 1 but couldn't take the lead. Now they're down 8 again, familiar spot. Little bounce. Bethel trying to save this possession. Couldn't. Numbers for the Warriors. Bounce pass. Oh, they ran out of room. And Early lost it off his knee, and we'll go back the other way. Miles checks out there. Carter France. Blakely cut. They'll go to Ivanovic. A lot of off-the-ball action going on right now. Didn't look like it got set up the way they wanted to. This is going to stick with LTU. The referees are checking for any blood that might have been on the floor there. No spot. 7 seconds on the shot clock here. Carter France, turn and shoot. Tough shot. Halfway through the second half. Blue Devils have to battle on this end of the floor. They'll have to fight through the fatigue. Nice little soft runner there from Earl. Transfer from Owens Community College. Ty Searles on the Blue Devils side, also a transfer from Owens Community College. Here's Blakely, transfer from Mount Shasta, California. Finds Ivanovic, nice slip cut, jam for 2. And Jalen Bethel elevates, throws it down, and it's back to an 8-point game. Every possession matters now. Another nice cut there. This time on the Indiana Tech side from Earl. Searles wants to push. Gets to the free throw line. Gets to the lane. All the way to the cup. Got it to go. Back to a 6-point game. It's been a game of runs. Been a game of spurts. Been a game of who can lock up defensively. Head coach Josh Pickens feels that against these top teams, you got to play defensively. They do it again there. Nice contest, and you got to rebound. Searles was fouled going the other way. Miles checks back in. Bethel will go out. Substitution that we've seen quite a bit this season. Oh, they're going to call actually an offensive foul there. So I think they called a hook on Searles offensively. And now Indiana Tech will retain possession. So a tough call there as Searles tried to push it up the floor again after he did so successfully in that previous possession. It's now Darnay Hairston. He's a solid fill at that point guard spot for Indiana Tech. A team that's 4-0 in WAC play. Huber dribbling, bouncing, found a man. They lost it out of bounds, but it'll stay at this end of the floor. Top 20 Indiana Tech team coming into town, ranked 16th in the NAIA. Lawrence Tech coming off their worst loss of the season. The cornerstone is that bonus free throw drops to get it back to a 7-point game. Jalen Bethel, who's on the bench now, is probably the only bright spot in that game. Led the team with 16 points, gathering a double-double with 11 boards. His second double-double of the season. Devontae Miles, he leads the team in boards out on the floor right now, so it's a good swap. Back to an 8-point game. Feels like the Blue Devils at some point will need to string together a run. They found themselves in this position on this home floor earlier this season, and they have come back in positions just like this, down 8 with under 8 to play. Now they're only down 6. After Miles gets it to go, he has 8 points in this one now. And the Warriors go right back down low the other way with Huber. He has 6. Searles. Indiana Tech putting one of their best defenders on Searles, a guy in Winkowski who was all defense a year ago. So this is one of the best offensive players in the conference against, if not the best, one of the best defensive players in the conference in Searles versus Winkowski. I think we got a foul there. Bethel comes back in. You wonder if he'll get another breather before this game is over. Try to set France off a screen. They get Searles off a screen. Searles pumps, leans, fires, off the mark. Miles galloping, gathering in the board and putting it up and in. 7:12 to play in the second half. And now we are back to a 6-point game. Find ourselves at this stage again. But it's been this stage where the Blue Devils haven't been able to find a stop. Can they get that stop and then score? Oh, there's the stop for you. The long arms of Bethel just vacuuming in that pass at 6-7. Now here is Miles, cross to the left. No look. Whoa, what a play! Devontae Miles. Winkowski in a 4-point game now. Blue Devils have gotten past that wall of the game kind of staying at 6 or 8. Winkowski going to work in the post. Bethel on the boards again. Out-muscling, out-bodying down there Darren Groves. These are a couple of big bodies at 6'8 and 6'7 colliding. And Bethel, a freshman, going up against a senior down there. He's done a really nice job of rebounding. Entry feed for Bethel. Looking, backing, turning, up. Couldn't get the roll. They've had several nice offensive possessions that haven't always culminated in buckets, but at the end of the day, nice offensive possessions that you can be pleased with. Bethel seems to be winning that matchup in the second half. Well, he found a runway there, did Winkowski off a screen. .530 to go. Intensity rising, pressure rising. Bethel had it poked away. Nice play by Primano. 3-on-1, and Primano finishes. Senior from Peru, Indiana, sparks a run, and it's back to an 8-point game again. Josh Pickens will talk things over. 5:10 to go. Second half. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN. We'll be right back. A look at Jalen Bethel there. 9 points today to go along with 8 rebounds in 30 minutes of play. He's really used that body well. The freshman. Awesome shot there from our Janiskowski. We got Ali Hadi behind the screens tonight producing. Meanwhile, it's Miles. Can he get a big bucket? He can. Big play there from DeMonte Miles. They drew up the ATO and converted. Now can Miles cut it to a 5-point game with 5 minutes to play? Miles 2 for 4 from the line tonight. That's a big one as he just gets it to go. 5-point game. 2 possessions. Under 5 to go. WAC conference matchup to open up December. Primorano. The kick and open fair. It's been a problem leaving him open this afternoon. We get a foul down low. It'll stay with Indiana Tech. Was it Blakely or was it called on Bethel? I don't think head coach Josh Pickens was happy with the fact that fair was open for, that wasn't the first time we've seen that. They got away with it that time, but free throws are coming here in the bonus for Primorano. The excellent shooter, 91% from the line, is the best on the floor. You see how smooth that shot is. Just snapped the net. Beautiful rotation on that shot from Primerano. And it's a 7-point game. Searles spins, jabs, drives baseline. The bounce, the kick, the three was blocked by Primerano. Blue Devils want a foul, but here he goes the other way. They're going to get a clear path, or what's going to happen here? Yep. So what a defensive sequence sparked by Primerano right after he hit those free throws. He has 20 points now, leading the way. 6 of 14 from the field. He's hit 4 threes. Eight-point game. Primerano hits both as anticipated. Ty Searles back in, Blakely out. It's Bethel, it's Searles, Miles, Ivanovic, and Carter France for the Blue Devils. Primerano goes right of a Grove screen, then shovels to Huber, who thought about it. Now Primerano feeling it. Blue Devils with room. It's Miles. Stripped down low. Is that Primerano again making a defensive play? Nine-point game for LTU. Blue Devils at 5-6 on the season, 2-2 in conference play. They're down 9 with under 4 to play. This feels like a big possession. They've clawed back several times tonight, as they have the ability to do so well, but you can only do that so many times before this Indiana Tech team now in the double bonus with good free throw shooters. Groves knocks down the first. Groves had 20 points on 8 of 10 shooting against Lourdes in Indiana Tech's 3-point win to keep their undefeated WAC record alive. Primerano now with 10 triples in his last 2 games. Point game. Searles with the noise behind him finds Ivanovic to the freshman France. He can step up in the big moments. He's defended well on the perimeter there. Bethel got it off just before the buzzer. Miles stripped it. That's an illustration of what type of player he is. Never gives up on the play. Senior. Always in the mix. Second time we've seen him get a really nice second chance bucket in the paint after a miss tonight. They triple team Groves out there. Primerano is open for a second. Huber fires, long board, ricochets to Miles. He'll gallop with rhythm, with space, blocks from behind. Tracking it down that time was Max Huber. Miles was hit in the face there. Looks like he'll try to shake it off. Second time we've seen the Warriors really do an excellent job of getting back on defense. Saw it from Primerano earlier, coming in and stripping it away. On the Blue Devil fast break this time, Huber hunting down Miles for the rejection. And it's now a 9-point game still. Searles, they could use a bucket from him right now. In a dangerous area in that paint, and the Warriors noticed it. An easy steal, and back they come the other way. They're in the stage now where they could be a couple of buckets away from icing it. Although the Blue Devils still have something to say. France calling for it, kicks to Searles, three, got it! Big shot to make it a 6-point game with 2:16 to go in the second half. France called for it, decided to go with the extra swing into the corner, and that led to 3 more. Edmond early in the ball game now for the Warriors. Fair. Monumental defensive possession here. Primerano with 2. Oh, that's off, but the second chance. The Blue Devils did just about everything they could do in that possession, but a second chance board and an easy bucket from Groves. Such a deflating possession there, and the lead is back up to 8. Searles drives, gets a quick bucket to put it back to 6. With just under 90 seconds to play, 88 to be exact, here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. It's a 67-61 lead for the visiting Warriors, who are looking for the sweep of the Blue Devils on this Saturday afternoon. We'll be right back. A look at Carter France there, a guy who has been big in big moments on this young season. As just a freshman, could he perhaps be the guy that comes up with the shot that obviously will be needed? We're down 6 with 1:28 to play. He'll need a couple of those shots. But first things first, you have to get a stop. And here is that time. Earl around the screen. Bethel trying to keep up. That opened up Primerano in the corner. Off the mark, but the 6'9" Learman snared it down. You wonder if they put Learman in just for that type of a situation. So 2 huge rebounds for Indiana Tech down these final few minutes have become very prominent in what could be the result. Blue Devils had that defensive stop, but then the second chance bucket from Groves. And now they get the stop, but the rebound from Learman to keep it a 6-point game and to keep possession with the Warriors, as the first free throw is off there. Third home game in a row that the Blue Devils have found themselves in a tight one on this home floor. Miles stepped into it and hit it. 4-point game. Now they foul intentionally. .2 on the clock. They just keep hitting big shots, keep coming back. Obviously, you need some misses here. An excellent Indiana Tech team came to town on this afternoon. Logan Primerano. He missed it. 91% from the free throw line, and he's off on the first to keep it a 4-point game and to guarantee that it will stick to a 2-possession game. Sinks the second. Five-point game. 45 seconds to play. Searles steps into a three off the mark. Miles right there. 3-point game. They foul right away. Winkowski, 84% free throw shooter. Josh Pickens calls his team in to talk things over. Meanwhile, it will be Winkowski going to the line. 40.4 on the clock. Second half clock. The seniors that Josh Pickens said have to be so rock solid have come up big over the last couple of possessions. But it is somewhat up to the fate of missed free throws. Winkowski goes 1 for 2, and it's a 4-point game. Carter France, clutch intentions for LTU now. Searles drives, sees a lane, got blocked, but he was fouled. A chance to make it a 2-point game with under half a minute to play. 29.7 on the clock. Coach Pickens calls his guys in again. 2 seniors, a sophomore, and 2 freshmen out on the floor right now for the Blue Devils. How can they handle the big moment? Here's Searles. It's the first. He's eclipsed the 20-point mark with 21 now in the game. Missed the second. Still a 3-point game. Primerano, 91%. He missed last time he was up there, and it rolls in this time for him. To make it most likely a 2-possession game, barring a 4-point play. But obviously still one more. If you go the other way and look for 3, you're most likely thinking, you know, Ivanovic can hit it, Miles can hit it, Searles can hit it. France now on the bench. Here's Searles. Across the timeline. Searles with 22 to play. Searles got it! 2-point game! What a game! Timeout called! 72-70. A thriller at the Riddler. And we got 19.9 to go. We'll be right back here on LTSN. So here we go, 19.9 to play in the second half. A 2-point game, 70-70 Indiana Tech. After another big shot, Blue Devils trying to sort things out defensively. They'll foul intentionally once this ball gets in unless they can come away with a steal. Primerano looking, Primerano finds Fair. They go for the steal, oh, a foul called. 16.8 to play, they almost jumped the passing lane. That'll be Huber going to the line here. Blue Devils have gotten some missed free throws out of this thrilling finish, and they've capitalized on that fact. Now it's Huber, 6'6" junior, Hilliard, Ohio native, 78% from the line. Last couple of guys that have been up there were 84% and 91%. So at least you're going down a little bit, but still solid at 78%. $16.8 to play. First one's off. And you're going to have at least a 3-point game. We'll see, hopefully, with the ball. Obviously, Josh Pickens has talked about the fact that you need to defend and he needs a rebound. Rebound is not a guarantee yet. You have to remember that. The second one goes down, so obviously now you do have it. 3-point game. 15 for Searles. 8 for Searles. Drives, gets all the way to the lane. He missed the layup with 3 on the second half clock. So now the life somewhat taken out of the building by the missed shot, but mystery still at hand. Although now it is a 4-point game. Chance to ice it. He doesn't ice it, but that'll do it. Ivanovic shoots. So a thrilling finish favors Indiana Tech. Blue Devils had a chance, down 3. Sometimes that's how it goes. A tough one, but a much improved team once again shows just how competitive they can be. They'll drop to 5-7 on the season with a winnable game coming up next Wednesday against Michigan Dearborn. An admirable performance from Ty Searles. A great game with 24 points. On the other side, leading the way, Primerano finished with 25. This was a sensational duel. It was fun to bring it to you. 74-70 the final. For producer Ali Hadi, Jenna Skalski behind the cameras, I'm Jason Ross Jr. signing off. Have a wonderful December 1st afternoon.